Your room's too quiet. But you're not alone. Welcome to Mystery Files, where the dark breathes your name. Step inside, or it'll pull you through. At 22, I started dating Hunter, a man I met through a dating app. He was strikingly handsome, but his eyes held a cryptic glint that unnerved me. Our first date was in a dimly lit cafe, his low voice carrying an edge that felt like a warning. Over coffee, he spoke sparingly, as if guarding a secret. Our second date was at an old bar, its walls stained with time. He rambled about haunting dreams and shadows that followed him. I laughed it off, but his unblinking stare chilled me. By the third date, a candlelit dinner, his nervous tics became undeniable. His hands twitched, and his eyes darted to the corners of the room, as if tracking an unseen presence. When he kissed me that night, a cold shiver ran through me like the touch of something not entirely human. On our fourth date back at the bar, he was unrecognizable. He drank heavily, his eyes gleaming like a predator's. He pressed himself too close, his hands insistent. Each time I pushed him away, his smile tightened, and his voice grew sharper. As we left, he grabbed my arm in the dark street and whispered, "Come home with me, or you'll regret it." My heart pounded as I tore away and fled to my car. Driving home, I noticed headlights tailing me, faint and relentless, like glowing eyes in the night. It was his car. I texted, trembling, "Are you following me?" His reply came instantly, "Just making sure you're safe." I called, but he didn't answer. Panic surged as I pulled into a side street and texted, "Stop following me." His car paused, then vanished into the darkness. At home, my phone buzzed with his message. "Sorry if I scared you. Let's do something quiet. Dinner at my place." I ignored it, but the texts kept coming. Question marks, then a venomous rant. "You played me. You'll pay for everything." Days later, I found a bouquet of black roses at my doorstep, paired with a card scrawled in jagged handwriting. "Give me another chance." How did he know where I lived? The walls seemed to watch me, their silence oppressive. That night, I woke to a faint creak from downstairs. The house was pitch black, the air heavy with dread. A door groaned open. I slid under my bed, my hands shaking as I dialed 911. Footsteps climbed the stairs, slow and deliberate. Drawers scraped open in my room, and a low murmur slithered through the air. "Where are you?" It was his voice. I held my breath, heart hammering, until the police arrived. They found no one, but every window was inexplicably unlocked. I got a restraining order, yet I still feel his eyes lurking in the shadows, waiting. At 23, I met Emily on Tinder. Her charm was magnetic, but her smile hid something inscrutable. After 4 dates, we were a couple, and the early days felt like a dream. But the dream soured. Emily's texts became relentless, demanding to know my every move. If I delayed replying, she'd send question marks or call incessantly. She insisted we share our phone locations, as if she needed to own me. One night, while I was at a friend's house, she stormed in, screaming at me in front of everyone for ignoring her texts. I felt like prey. I ended it via text, too afraid to face her. Her response was fury, pounding on my door, shrieking in the street until neighbors intervened. A week later, alone at night, I heard a click from the dining room while watching a movie. The house was dark, the silence suffocating. I muted the TV and a door creaked open. "Who's there?" I called, but the void swallowed my voice. Grabbing a knife, I called 911, my pulse thundering. With an officer, I searched the house, finding nothing but an open door I swore I'd locked. I tried to sleep, but woke to texts from an unknown number. "Wake up. I need to talk." It was Emily. Then, a scream tore through my room. From the closet. "No!" Her voice. The closet door burst open and Emily emerged, a knife glinting in her hand, her eyes blazing with madness. I stammered that I loved her, buying time as I dialed 911 in secret. She lunged, stabbing the door as I held it shut, the blade piercing through inches from my face. I screamed, "Baby, I love you!" And she paused, her breathing ragged. I convinced her to drop the knife, then tackled her when the police arrived. They stormed in, cuffing her as she wailed hysterically. Emily was convicted of serious crimes, but the terror clings to me. I wake at night, certain her shadow waits outside, ready to reclaim me. I was in 6th grade when it began, during Halloween week. We were decorating a haunted house for the school carnival, and Chris, a classmate, was there, joking and laughing. He seemed friendly, but his eyes had an unsettling intensity. 2 weeks later, a group of girls cornered me, giggling. "You have a secret admirer." That night, a message from Chris appeared on Facebook. In a sprawling paragraph, he confessed his obsession, saying I'd haunted him since Halloween and demanding I be his girlfriend. Revulsion twisted my stomach. I replied gently that I only wanted friendship, but his tone darkened. He bombarded me with questions, and his friends began taunting me, saying he'd force a kiss on me. I told my teacher, then the principal, but their responses were hollow. Chris started following me home. One day, minutes after I got inside, a knock rattled the door. Peering through the window, I saw him duck behind a car. He left a note claiming a surprise waited under my brother's Cadillac. We found nothing, but the car mysteriously broke down soon after. His harassment escalated. He snapped photos of me in secret, sending daily messages like, "Can't wait to see you, you'll look beautiful today." I felt his gaze everywhere. One night, I woke to rhythmic thuds against my second-floor window. Each strike echoed like a heartbeat. Terrified, I crept to the curtain and peeked out. Chris stood below, clutching rocks, staring up with hollow eyes. He mouthed something I couldn't hear, then melted into the darkness. Messages flooded my phone. "Why did you run?" "I just want to talk." I blocked him, but the nightmare lingered. The school counselor dismissed it, saying, "Boys will be boys. You should feel flattered." Her words were a betrayal. My mother confronted the school, but Chris faced no consequences. Years later, I heard he was arrested. Though for what? I don't know. Even now, I sense his ghost lingering, watching from some unseen corner.